Guys, I'm back with Scary Stories Part 2. Okay. This one was pretty scary. I was around like 7. I was living still at my other house, okay? And so I got a bunk bed at the time. It wasn't really a bunk bed, but it was a bed that was tall, and I had stairs to get up to the top, which is the only spot you could sleep. And it had like a little fort under it, which I loved. It wasn't actually meant for a fort, but I made a fort out of it. I kept it like that. So I was sleeping on the top bunk, well, the bed, and out of nowhere. Okay, so before I start, I put bells on the entrance. Only I know like how to get past them without making a sound. It was like an alarm kind of thing. And I heard the bells at night. At this time, we only had a cat. No, we didn't. We had some hamsters. They were in their cage. So I was like, huh. And I knew my sisters or my parents, they can't fit in there. Or they'll hit their head, which that's pretty easy to hear. So I was like, huh, what do I do? And so my bed had a slide, which was like a part of the fort, because you could get under the slide. And so I went down my slide, which the slide is freaking loud as crap. So I went down it, and it was like, and I looked in the fort, and so I had cups sitting up on a dresser that I had in there. I had like 4 cups facing upwards, like that. You know what I mean? And I went in there and they're upside down. And I was like, what is going on here? So then I started to go out and I turned around and I saw that my bells were gone. It was made like a tripwire kind of thing, but I was like 7, so it kind of sucks. But it worked sometimes. And I noticed that it was gone. And so I got out, and I looked around. Next thing I know, I remember my door being open when I got down to my fort. And I looked and it was closed. I could see a shadow going through the door, like, you know, like the bottom of the door, you know. And I was like, huh. And so I went to open the door. It's like an inwards door like that. And it felt like someone holding on the other side. And so then I looked at the bottom, like I looked under my door, and there was nothing there. And then when I looked, I could open it. I opened it. And I saw my bells hanging on the door. They didn't make a sound. So I looked in the bell, and the little circle in there was missing. Like it was gone. And next thing I know, I see there's a hallway right when you come out of my door. I see the 4 little balls rolling at me. So I freak out. And I had to get some of my spare. I know this sounds really crazy, but yeah, I had some more. I don't know, I like to buy the bells because they're fun to play with sometimes. Well, that's what I thought when I was 7. Okay, back to this story. When they started rolling at me, I was like, huh. So I picked them up, threw them in my room, just closed my door. And I turned around. I have a computer in my bedroom it's on a dresser right by a window. And I looked, and that computer was on. And my window was open. So I closed my window. First I looked outside, which, that's stupid. I was 7. What am I going to do to someone that snuck in the house? But why would they take the circles out of the bell? And how did they come rolling at me? And how was my door, locked? So I could not sleep that night. I locked my window, obviously. I turned the computer off. Right before I turned it off, I noticed it was on a website called Sneaky.io. Now, I did not think this was real. I don't even know if it's real anymore because I didn't look it up. And it said Sneaky.io, and I was like, oh God. So I clicked play because I was stupid. I was kind of bored at the time. And it was, you were this guy who snuck into a house. First you have to find the house. And so I was walking around town, and the town looked very familiar. I saw my house. So I went up to my house, and I broke in. I got in. I opened the window in my bedroom. I went in. I went in my fort. I took the bells down. And I went, and I locked my door, holded the door. And then I went backwards to my sister's bedroom and rolled the balls down the hallway. Tell me if that makes a connection. Okay. Story 2. This is not part 2, it's just another story. I was probably 6 or 8. I don't exactly remember. Wait, no, I was 9. Yeah. I was 9. And we were living here, where I'm at right now. And I heard something in the forest over there, not really forest, but woods. It sounded like an animal. So I looked out my window, and I saw something running from my window. You couldn't really tell what it was. It just looked like a shadow, just running straight to that forest. So then I went outside, got a flashlight. Obviously, it was 10 o'clock, so it wasn't that strange. We have raccoons and crap like that, but it was standing on its back legs. We don't have bears here, and it was moving pretty fast. And I got my flashlight and looked around. And right over there by that camper, on the back side of it, there was a little piece of a note. It didn't say anything, it was just a piece of a note. It was kind of creepy, because I saw the animal thing right there, where the note would be. Okay, I'll go show you where the note piece would have been. So, I went to where the pontoon is over there, and I looked around with the flashlight. The flashlight was an amazing flashlight, so I could see good. And I saw something going into the woods, entering the woods. Note was right here, I believe, right where my foot is. And so I was like, hey, what if a raccoon got on his back legs? Because the creature didn't look that tall, but it didn't look that short. So it could have just been a possum or a raccoon. So I went over to the woods, as an idiot that I was. And I didn't go in the woods, I just went to the entrance, right over there, the front of it. And I looked in there. And next thing I know, I see the thing crawling up a tree, kind of in the middle of it. And I'm like, oh God. And I hear a... And so I run. Right when I hear that, my flashlight turns off. So I run all the way back into the house, slammed the door, locked it, and went in my bedroom and locked my door. And unlocked my windows. Hey, this is not over yet. Before I have to end the video, I'm going to tell you a little bit of the next part. So, I thought the night was going to be over. It was by like 11 o'clock by this time. I'd probably say, I don't know. And I know when it's around 11 to 12, I watch YouTube. No, I watch Netflix. What am I thinking? I watched the Stranger Things before I finished it. Oh. Yeah, season 2. That was out by the time I was like 9, so. So, I heard something at my window, like something getting thrown. It didn't sound like a rock, it sounded like a pine cone, maybe. Or just a little rock, or one of these right here. We have a lot of these around. Could have been one of those. It sounded something kind of smaller, not that hard. And so I looked out my window and there was a mountain of rocks. And right, like, kind of right where that note piece was. And so I did not go outside because this time I was smart. So yeah, I'll have to make a part 2 later. Bye bye.